it might be too late, last minute for him. I'm sure it might be for other people too. Are we live? I think it's live. Welcome on YouTube, everybody. In a moment, I'm going to post the link to join the Zoom room if you're joining live. And if you're watching the replay, welcome to the video. I do channeling sessions every month and I post some in between. And these sessions are mostly Q&A for people to bring the questions that they have for the Pleiadian Council, to receive guidance, to receive their energy transmission, and to ultimately connect with themselves. So thank you for being here, and you can join in the live stream and ask your questions. Ideally, you ask them aloud with at least the audio. If you want to come on video, that's also great. You can also type the questions out in the YouTube chat or in the Zoom chat, and people will be able to read them aloud. Sometimes if it gets really full, there isn't as much priority given to the questions in the chat, but almost always we do get to them. Though I will say that it is better when you ask your questions aloud, because we can receive more of the information that brings the clearest answer from the Pleiadian Council. And as well, I do private channeling sessions that can help you go a lot deeper in your own process, and you can get a lot more information about the council on very specific things than you will in just a short, maybe 2 to 5 minutes that will have space for your question today. But as well, I have this channeled book, The Guidebook to Living Love on Earth, that came through actually recorded channeling sessions just like these. It was about 38 hours or something that went into creating a book on many different topics, the Pleiadian Council's sort of metaphysical framework of this universe and the ascension process, and how it's going to affect all of these areas of our lives, and how we can understand all of the nuances of human life for this evolutionary process we're in. So it's a really great resource. I as well teach a channeling class. It's already enrolled for this summer's rendition. It launches when we have 4 people signed up and ready for the next course. And then we'll pick a date and flow from there. So if you're interested, send me a message and we can get you registered for whenever the next one might be. I will say that with the questions that you ask today, there's a lot of things on YouTube that are like, pick a card, or tell me about my energy, or predict my future. And these sessions are a lot more oriented towards those who are willing to do some of that deeper investigation work as well, knowing that it's our own energy and our own frequency and our own beliefs that create our experience of reality. And we are have so much free will and choice in that matter. So when we bring ourselves to answer the questions that matter most to us, and we also know have to do with the choices we're making and the beliefs we're choosing, we get a lot more from these sessions. So I'll just say that before we begin. And so I'm going to post now in the YouTube box the live stream link. Maybe more people can join. Okay. And also these sessions are just free offerings to support people. And if you want to support the effort that goes into doing this every month, you can send a donation. And in the Zoom chat, I will put my PayPal email and Venmo. And thanks so much for the donations, as they really help in allowing me to continue to offer this freely. And I really appreciate the support. Thank you guys for making this possible. And the last thing I will say is, when you're not speaking, make sure you are muted, because the audio can interfere in the session sometimes. So yeah, make sure you're muted when you're not speaking. Oh, I'm good. Oh, do you want to say hi? Oh wait, I'm gonna start recording. I'm here with Amanda.
Hello, friends.
Some of you may have seen or heard from Amanda in other channeling sessions before. So it's really great when the real life meetings happen between people in the channeling community. So here I am. Here she is. It's also deeper to experience channeling live in person. So hopefully I get the chance to meet more people out there and you guys get the chance to experience channeling in person, whether it's me or with somebody else. I think everything's prepared now and I will just make, okay. So enjoy the session, everybody. Oh, hello, and it is our pleasure to connect with you once again. We are the Pleiadian Council, and we thank you for allowing this transmission to take place. It is a gift to us to be able to meet you and co-create with you and exchange these energies between our realities, allowing for all that is in this universe to expand. So we extend to you our gratitude, and we open with this message at this time before we will attend to your personal questions and so on. So let us begin by saying, you've noticed now your Earth is having an increase in the Schumann frequency, unlike anything you've witnessed before. And this is indicative of your planet going to a different vibrational plane. There are certain geometric configurations that correlate with the sonic frequencies that point towards a crystallization in your consciousness taking place. However, in this process, many people will experience it in a variety of different ways. As the energy on your planet continues to increase, you are being encouraged to resonate with your consciousness at the same level. And it is in part due to the work so many of you do to become more aware, to become more in alignment with your own heart's guidance, to act upon that heart's guidance and release your own insistence, as we share, supports you in riding the waves of these ascending currents of energy. Though oftentimes, in order to truly transform, you will find that you have to sink deeper into the energies of the earth. And you know the energies of the earth from the experience of being in your own body. We speak very much to you about the deconstruction and reconstruction of your belief systems. Though there's one caveat that we talk about sometimes as well, and we want to remind you of very much today, that if you rush and you have that energy of insistence in the process of transforming your beliefs, you can sometimes create a mask persona or a sort of false energy that deceives yourself even in thinking you've overcome something that you yourselves are still processing. So the most important part is to be in total acknowledgement of everything you're experiencing and everything you're feeling in your body, recognizing that every ache and every sensitive spot and every trigger that comes up is a key indication for you of something to be explored in your own process of healing, growth, and expansion into deeper connection with your higher self and source. One of the deepest states of inner peace is the peace that you can experience in no longer resisting and no longer pushing away. And so many of you are aware of this process of the earth going through an ascension, but there's a simultaneous inner process within this ascension of consciousness that is the psychological descension into the realm of shadow that needs to be explored and integrated before your human form can hold these higher frequencies and purer energies of spirit. And this is a process of allowing yourself to be radically honest with your feeling states and allowing yourself to slow down in order to observe as the frequency of the planet simultaneously speeds up. So by being, in the sense, deep, you let yourself go to the deeper levels of the earth, just as the earth itself is the foundation of life. You will see that shadow is part of the foundation of your life here. For as you go deeper within the earth, there is an obstruction to the flow of light. Light does not enter many places. Yet, despite that, there's life within the earth, and the elements of the earth where the light does not shine are all necessary and fundamental for maintaining your very existence here. Though all too often, many of you will seek to hide from the light and hide from the darkness, rather than opening yourself to experience both as fully and clearly as you can in this very moment. And by having this open and non-judging awareness, allowing yourself to be extremely present with your experience in the moment, you allow your body to tell the stories that it is playing through your own subconscious mind. And these stories often and always really shape your reality, but they are not ultimately the true reality. They shape your perception of this reality. The stories of the experiences that you've had over this incarnation, especially, but also over other incarnations, play out in this subconscious mind, and they become the lens through which you interpret the events of the now. So you have to become very intimate with your own stories, and also recognize that simply because you might understand these stories in a clear way does not mean that these stories don't need to be told in order to move the energy that still might be present within them. And by allowing yourself to be honest when you are seeing these stories from the past resurface, you create this deeper intuitive connection with yourself, this deeper allyship with your own mind, so as to be aware of its wanderings and know why it's doing so. Many of you will instead attempt to fight and control your mind without an attitude of awareness and observation and acceptance. And by allowing yourself to approach your mind with those attitudes first, you will find that it is a much easier thing to tame than by resisting the process, because you want to go beyond these stories right here and now. And so you do actually find many people in your world claiming they are helping themselves or helping others help themselves, really teach a sort of superficial form of creating a crutch, a mental crutch to walk upon, rather than doing the work of strengthening the muscles of the body, so to speak, to be able to walk without the crutch. And sometimes the work of really strengthening yourself requires that level of brutal honesty that feels much more intimidating than choosing the crutch and choosing the sort of superficial or fake stories as a means to walk through. But the thing is by having peace with exactly where you're at now, you will be, yes, more challenged, but it is in facing the challenge that you really build the strength. And so if you find yourself walking with a crutch in any regards, it's important to recognize it and know that maybe you need it for a time. And when you are ready to put it down is when you will really come to find that experience of the true strength. And along the lines of the themes we're speaking of today, it is the strength to be more completely and more honestly yourself. And those of you who've paid attention to these teachings, remember that the point of this existence is to be yourself. It is to be the soul that you incarnated as to its fullest extent, to its fullest degree. And this happens through enacting your highest excitement to the best of your ability without insisting on an outcome. In other words, allowing the guidance of the heart to motivate your actions and carrying them out in the best ways possible, using all of your resources and practicing that true non-attachment and being open to all of the lessons and all of the experiences that you learn along the way, knowing that there is value and growth in all of them and they can all be used in a positive way. So knowing this, we hope that you choose to open your heart to us to explore what is exciting for you and what is possible for you at this time today, and allow yourself as well to be aware and own those shadows, because it is both the darkness and the light that sustains this existence. Otherwise, you wouldn't live in this universe that is, after all, supposedly so vast and full of empty spaces and hidden spaces, like the inner realms of your planet, where the light does not reach. So we thank you very much for choosing to tune into this energy. And we remind you that these changes taking place with your Earth's resonance are happening at that deep level, that level that cannot be seen, but can be felt. And this also speaks to your own inner darkness in a way that there are many things within you that you don't see, but you feel. But it is by coming to allow yourself to be more aware of them and not turn away from them, that you actually harness the power of transformation to be free from their influence. So we thank you very much. And we now ask, in which ways can we be of support today to you with your questions and anything you would like to share with us?
I have a question, Pleiadian Council. I'm so happy to be in your presence again, Lucas.
All right. We are happy to be with you as well.
Will it be similar to Final Fantasy, you know, like the old video games that come out over the years, like the newer, kind of like Yuna, the Gull Wings back in the day?
We're not specifically familiar, but we're aware of it, yes.
So that's how the new Earth will be? Or...
It will be like a video game? Not really.
Well, no, like the magic and stuff that they show in it, like Yuna's alchemist abilities.
Such as?
Like a potion mixing thing they did to help healing people and stuff with white Reiki magic.
Oh, well, there will be many energy healing modalities and there will be many new types of medicine. So in that sense, you could say it is very similar, yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
I have a question.
All right, yes.
Thank you, Counselor.
Our thanks to you.
I was in the bathtub the other night, glorious bathtub.
All right.
In Mount Shasta.
Yes.
And I distinctly heard the flap of what sounded like a rather large wing fly over me as my eyes were closed, and I wonder what that was.
A certain type of bird, yes. An
Mm.
owl, actually.
Mm. Thank you. Was it a white owl?
Yes, perhaps we would say it had some white colors.
Beautiful. And did it have a message for me or just announcing its presence?
Well, you've been intending to connect with those of the air, yes. So in a sense, it is a response, though also the owl contains the medicines of learning to connect with the night and the shadows, learning how to see in the darkness. So it's very much in alignment with what we were speaking of in our opening message. The owl guides you to see through your own darkness and use your deeper sight to be able to find what you're looking for there.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes. And it is response, though also the owl contains the medicines of. We didn't quite get that. All right. So if anybody else has a question, yes.
Hello, Pleiadian.
Hello, welcome.
Yes, who wants to come first?
You may
There is
speak.
someone else who wants to come? No? Okay. I have a. I don't know. There is someone speaking. So Dante, do you hear me?
We hear you.
Okay. Do you hear two mics working at the same time?
We only hear one. We only hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. If I am allowed, I have a question.
Yes.
First of all, thank you for Dante and for you Pleiadians to giving us helps. And then I want to move, and I trusted a wrong how do you say it? Medium, which said I have to wait. The move is coming. All will be okay. So I trusted, and then it didn't happen. So I would like to understand if it's my fault or if it's medium fault. If he was right or it was a wrong false medium.
Did you look for a place?
Replace the being, the person?
Did you look for a new place to live?
Yes, I looked. I was waiting for I was on a queue. I was waiting for an offer, but I always okay.
All right. Well, we would say it's no one's fault. It's just what happened. You don't have to blame yourself and you don't have to blame the medium. Did the medium tell you a specific amount of time? We would also say it ultimately does not matter because all of the timelines can change. So you need not rely on any prediction because you may know, as we've shared before, in every moment, as your frequency changes, the potential timelines change. And so a reading is only showing you what is most probable in one specific moment.
Okay, but if my goal is to make a move, to change,
yes,
to change location, and I deeply care for it, what is the benefit of me crossing and making a new timeline where this didn't happen? Where is the benefit of
what
this?
you need to do in order to move is to think about where you would like to be and think about what kind of apartment or home you would like to be in. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What neighborhood is it in? How is your daily life there? What is it like? What does it feel like to be in that place? Start to get yourself in the mode of feeling this new energy and feeling excited about it and feeling for that timeline in which you do move. And then as you do that, you will be at a more compatible frequency. Then you can continue your search, because it doesn't bother to question why. Sometimes you have to search for things for very long before you find them, and that is a part of the process. You learn many lessons in the process, but you will only get these things that you seek when you are persistent.
Simon, can you cut your mic, please? Because there is sound on your mic. Thank you.
Did you hear what we said?
Excuse me. You said you said that at the end I didn't heard, but yes, you said I have to attune my frequency.
You do have to tune your frequency by visualizing being in this new place and getting very specific as to what place you want and where is it, and things of this nature. And then you have to be persistent in your search. You have to continue and keep searching, because again, it doesn't really matter why it is taking this long. There's no fault that it is taking this long. There are simply lessons that you have to learn in the process.
Okay,
There are
because
many things in life that require a great search.
okay, but since Bashar said all is possible, I wanted to identify my frequency. Why is not what is not attuned, to direct it and to make it happen like in second. So now
Well,
you yes.
things don't happen in a second. You don't just change your beliefs in a second. You don't just go from one lower vibration to an incredibly much higher vibration right here and now. It is through a series of gradual shifts. And also understand that your frequency can go in one of many directions. It can go up and then it can go back down. You can change your frequency and then it can plummet to an even greater low if you focus on something very negative. Remember that all of you will die after all. So there's many things that can happen in between now and then. Your frequency can go up, it can go down. You can be in a very high probable frequency for attracting the things you want, and then you can get into a fear-based state based on some trigger or based on some choice you make. So it's a constant work. It doesn't just happen. You don't just do a meditation and all of a sudden things are much better. We understand you would like it to be that way, but you have to constantly be aware of your frequency and constantly make adjustments to it. And these gradual steps that you make over time will bring you to your goals.
Okay, last question. If you get fear-based frequency during 2 days, but you stay higher vibration for 4 days, that means I come, because I stay in higher frequency, I get
But
back
it
to
doesn't
my
matter.
high.
It doesn't matter, because what you're asking about is, if my frequency stays high, will it change the fact that I haven't yet manifested certain things? And we will tell you, you need to be having a high frequency attitude about the specific things you want in order to get those things. Say that you love picnics, and picnics make you feel very happy and joyful, but you are terrified of relationships and they make you panic. So you think that every day just going on a picnic is going to help you get your relationship because you feel happy and joyful then. You're in a high frequency. But again, because in the deep part of your mind, your beliefs about relationships are still very negative. As soon as you go back into the world of relationships, your frequency will be much lower again. So your frequency doesn't matter as much as you think it does in this very moment, because you might be feeling your positive attitudes about one subject when you've buried deep within yourself negative attitudes about another subject. So you cannot use this sort of positive reinforcement as a means of covering things up. You can use it to stabilize your frequency, to have a more balanced nervous system, to have a more open mind about going deep into the realms and parts of your mind where you have negative frequencies and negative attitudes, but it will never cover them up. It can again help you find stability, and you need to be in a place of stability and clarity in order to explore your own negative beliefs and attitudes. But until you're willing to do that work of really understanding yourself and understanding why you have these negative beliefs and attitudes around certain things that you also really want, you're not going to get those things.
Okay, there had some noises in your mic. I I understood. I would like
all of you need to tell us that there is audio disturbance when it is happening, because
yes.
if you don't interrupt us and you don't hear what we're saying, there's no point in us doing this.
Okay, I heard, but I would like to know if everybody understood, or can someone answer?
We can understand. It just we heard everything that was said. It just feels distance. That's it. A little distorted. But we heard everything.
I think your
Okay.
mic went out and you were using the computer audio or the phone audio.
Yeah. Oh, and normally I would just use my headphones, but somebody else is listening in. Let me do one thing.
It's strange. It's strange because your mic is good, and out of nowhere it starts to break through the sound. So it's strange.
I just need to.
Just had it there for a second.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Now it's
Okay.
now it's came back to the normal. Now it's good.
Yeah. Let us continue.
May I ask
Yes.
a question? Or-
Yes, thank you for the answers. I there is no cut through. I have to go through the listen. So
Yes.
thank you.
All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Hi, Pleiadian Council.
Hello, welcome. Yes.
Thank you for this transmission.
Oh, thank you.
I wanted to expand on stabilizing your frequency and understanding yourself more. So when I walk into my workplace, there's a lot of, it's like I'm sensitive to the environment, like the lights and the negative energies. How will one go about I work a 12-hour shift, to throughout the day to stabilize my frequency throughout the shift in somewhat of maybe a lower vibration frequency. I mean, there's some positives to it. The people make it really great. It's just the environment.
How often do you have a break?
We get pretty often. I mean, we get breaks like 15 minutes, 30 minutes lunch. So it's pretty often.
Do you get to leave during that time?
So for the majority of the time, we hold our phones. We're on call most of the time. So we don't get to leave the facility, but there are little break patios. I try to go outside and get some sun just to.
This is good. So you can also play with some visualization while you are going through the workday. If the sun is something that helps you to feel connected, you can visualize the light is shining upon you or shining through you from the sun through your day. Keeping your focus on the positive aspects of it that you do enjoy will also help you very much. The important thing is recognizing that as you leave, you leave also behind the energies from your workplace and allow yourself to come fully into the present moment. In a way, when you enter a space, it will always impact your frequency. Though, as you do, by focusing on the positive aspects of it, you have a more positive experience of it.
I see. Yeah, and I try to play music. Oh, sorry, go on.
One thing that can help in any situation is to deepen the rate of your breath. Observe your breath and also slow your breath down. Do this especially if you ever find yourself breathing at more rapid rates than are typical. When you control your breath, you allow yourself to be more calm and present in the moment, and your nervous system stabilizes more.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, I'll be more mindful of my breathing and the present moment.
Yes.
It's like a very fast pace sometimes, and I guess during those moments you can just like be present with the breath and your energy.
Yes. You can use the breath to have another level of focus within, as an anchor to also remain present with yourself. Because it's when you disassociate from what you're feeling that sometimes those feelings get stuck in your body. And that is very destabilizing to your frequency.
Yeah, and I'm around a lot of sadness too, so I definitely try not to pick up on. Obviously, we feel it and I'll cry in the moment, but those feelings disseminate when I am out of the room. But I hope they don't linger on. I'm pretty sure they don't. But
well, if you're not feeling them intensely right now, we wouldn't say they do.
Yeah.
But feeling other people's sadness is a doorway to your own compassion. So when you understand this, there's no need to resist other people's negative emotions. You can understand that you can feel positive when other people feel negative, and negative energy can, in a way, be fuel for your compassion, which is a positive frequency. It is feeling connected to the suffering of other people.
that's such a great point. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Can I put a question?
Yes.
Adrian, sorry. Can I, there is a question on the chat. I
Alright.
would like to...
Okay.
You can ask your question aloud. The chat questions can come after.
All right. So I'm gonna put a question. So recently is anyone speaking?
No. Go on.
So recently my brother passed away. He ended his life after severe depression for 1-2 years. And I would just like to ask, what is his situation now? Where is he? And the whole situation, like from a soul level.
As a soul, he is at peace now. He reunites with Source, and he reunites with his higher self. He also takes in that energy from his soul history. As souls leave the body, there is a deeper understanding as they return into the oneness or source consciousness. They do still retain some sense of memory of their lives and of their identities, though they expand beyond it. He did feel sorry for the choice that he made and for how it affected others in coming into spirit, though also he accepted that as the process of his soul incarnation and his growth at this time. Though he does hope to send love and peace and condolences to those who loved him. And he is most certainly still with you.
Does he have a message for me or something?
We shared that just now.
Okay, yes. Thank you. And another question.
Unless there's something more specific that you want to ask him.
Just like something in a semi-funny way, because during our, during when he was alive, we kept having different polemics on spirituality, and I just wanted to ask him now in a semi-funny way, if he's convinced now about his indestructibility of his soul, that he's an eternal soul.
Yes.
Because,
oh, he most certainly knows that.
yes, I'm sure. I just wanted to joke a bit.
Yes.
Because he didn't believe me. Because,
well, now he knows. It's beyond belief.
and another question, another subject. Around these spirits, can you tell me with what kind of races, 80 races I'm connected or something?
With what kind of what?
80 races.
Yes. Syrian, Arcturian.
Are these the most pro for me to make contact on the future, or maybe some?
It's part of your soul history already, and you may reach out to them, though you also have a great soul contract with the hybrid races, and you have some soul agreements to be involved in some of the first contact experiences over the next 4 years.
Yeah, generally, I'm very attracted to the hybridization agenda.
Yeah.
Something that, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop here and let others. Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks to you as well.
Hello, Pleiadian Council.
Hello, yes, welcome.
I would like to ask a general question about the world economy.
All right.
Did we already reach the turning point?
No.
And when?
The probability is constantly changing. Sometime in the fall, things will look a little bit odd for you.
So there is still a way down.
Yes.
More. Okay, anything special to share?
Well, be excited and act upon it, because it doesn't really matter about this economy. It's an inevitable process. It's going to be exciting for you to experience that transformation. Many new things will happen in your world as a result. Though it is very important for you to recognize in the process that your own abundance is not governed by money, and also to understand that one of the greatest forms of abundance that you have is your freedom. And part of your freedom is the freedom to speak about and act upon the kinds of systems that you want to see in the world. So it is in creating new systems and representing those systems that your world will find a more sustainable economy in the future.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and speaking about abundance, what's your definition of abundance?
The ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. This is our agreed upon definition.
Okay, great. And what's your suggestion when to use debt or loan?
when it is absolutely necessary in order to do what you need to do, when you need to do it, because that it makes it abundance. When it is the path of least resistance.
Yes, but it's most or many times it is possible to take a loan, but it may be not wise.
Yes,
Or-
because if you cannot pay it back, it might cause problems for you.
So I need to be clear if it's my passion to have that money or not.
Can you deal with the pressure of having to pay it back?
Okay, so that comes to promises.
Remember, when you're taking out a loan, you're not getting money, you're paying money. You're paying
Yes,
money for the experiences of having the money that you make right now instead of waiting for it later. So it's ultimately a greater expenditure than anything else.
so what's a better way? Save money and then buy what I want, or take a
Do
loan?
you need what you want right now?
So it means what is better for me, or which is more comfortable for me. That's
It's a
the way
question.
to go.
Do you need what you want right now?
Yes, pretty much.
All right. Then why are you holding yourself back?
Because I'm not sure if I will keep to the promises to pay it back.
And what happens if you don't?
It's something, the thing I wanted will be taken away from me.
And does that still make this an exciting possibility? Can you handle that level of pressure?
Yes, that's the question.
All right.
Because it will put a lot of pressure on myself.
Well, this is a question you only have the answer to.
Yes. Okay. One more question about health. On health team, what's the benefit of cold water or sauna?
Cold water invigorates your body. It strengthens your nervous system. It sends you a rush of wake up energy. It also helps to detox your system from certain stress hormones like cortisol. And it primes your body and nervous system to be fresh and prepared. The sauna is detoxing on a different level. It is also restoring for the nervous system and balancing for the nerves. It's certainly relieving for pain and very strengthening for bodies in both extreme warm and extreme cold climates.
And it is good in combination to go to the
Oh,
cold
the back
water.
and forth is very stimulating. It has deeper healing benefits than one alone. The oscillation between hot and cold stimulates your circulatory system.
And I believe the length of it is dependent on as much I can stand, or it's pleasant for me.
Yes, you don't want to overwork yourself.
Okay, and one more question regarding my meditation. When I put a question to my higher mind, and the answer is not coming, what I should do to make that answer to come?
What feeling is coming in your body?
Many times I don't have a strong feeling. I just feel void or emptiness, and I don't know if I'm placing the or asking the question wrong way, or I don't know where may be a problem or what is
Stay with that
blocking.
feeling.
When I'm asking the question, I do in by my inner voice. Then I'm waiting for the answer, and nothing is coming, or it is just I feel it's just fabricated answers from my mind that I have learned somewhere, and or I just feel empty. I don't feel the correct answer, I would say. Or
Where do you feel sensation?
no sensations usually. So
All right. No feeling of energy.
no. That may be the question. I should tune better to my heart.
Yes. Tune more into this awareness and tune in with whatever information you receive. You may think that the voice you're hearing is fabricated, and you might find that this definition that you place upon that voice creates the feeling of emptiness.
And should I question the answer somehow? Just to
Observe. If you're really channeling, you're observing, and you're not coming to a conclusion about the information you obtain. It's really a state of observation and allowance.
Mm-hmm. And it usually does not need to make sense.
If the information is really new to you and is really going to be something that brings a shift for you, it might not make sense, no. Because it is something that you are integrating. If it's something you already knew, it would make perfect sense. This is why channeling for yourself is more challenging than channeling for somebody else. Because if you're really going to go into a groundbreaking level, you have to cross into uncharted territory that is unfamiliar.
And does it make sense to ask myself why I'm not getting this information?
You may.
Okay, thank you
Though
very
you
much.
also in this process have to accept the limitations of channeling and accept your own limitations at a current skill level. You're going to have many unknowns. We, as the Pleiadian Council, still experience vast unknowns. You, as human beings, know less than 1% of all that is. We know maybe 2%. So there's much for us to know. And there will always be unknowns for you. And if you aren't completely comfortable with the unknown, and if you make it wrong that you don't get the answers you seek right away, you're going to delay the process of exploring into channeling. Right now, you're focusing on the information you're not getting. And that's preventing you from seeing all the information you are getting. That's the biggest hint for you here.
Okay, so always ask right questions. Okay, thank you very much.
No, you didn't get it. what did we really say to you? Because that isn't what we really just said to you. And what we told you is most important.
Yes.
Say it again.
Focus on the information that is coming.
Yes. And
use it.
And accept that you might not get everything, and that's okay. There will always be some unknown, and your relationship with the unknown is what allows you to be open in the moment.
Yes.
So have a positive relationship with the unknown, and don't make a negative definition of the fact that you're not always getting the information you see. It's a process.
Yes, I understand. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks to you as well.
Hello, Pleiadian Council.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for this transmission.
Oh, thanks to you.
In your opening message, there were a lot of things that really resonated with me. And may I ask one thing about, you talked about geometric forms. And
Yes.
I'm very curious if you could help me with some insights about the Merkaba shape, Merkaba shaped crystals, and how we can use that to go deeper or connect deeper with the earth.
Well, this triangular pyramid shape, the three-sided pyramid, is really the first basic three-dimensional polygon that shapes life. And stacking two of them in this way together is supporting the energies that rise into ascending consciousness and the energies that descend into the earth plane. It's the back and forth, and it is representing your own soul body that is simultaneously transmitting energies from physical reality to the spiritual level and energies from the spiritual level into physical reality. It's also a representation of the heart, which is intimately connected with this Merkaba energy field. As its center point, the heart is where energies from the earth and energies from the higher planes blend together. It's that center point of your being.
Okay.
And it is where spirit resides in you.
Ah, beautiful. Yes, because I'm fascinated by this form in that it's a three-dimensional manifestation. So I'm very curious how to engage with it and hopefully go deeper in my practices and my deconstructing, as you've talked about, as far as going through the process of understanding myself. And to that, I'm very curious again about triggers in the body. We talked about that also in the opening message, that a couple things resonated. Sometimes, at least my understanding is that sometimes it might be perhaps an obstruction, or maybe something that we are perhaps using as a crutch as we go through our shadow work. Can you go a little bit deeper about that and maybe help me understand? Because right now I'm having some physical ailments that are very unusual for me. At the same time, I am going through a lot of deconstructive energetic work, and I'm trying to push through that and acknowledge that, but I feel like I'm getting hung up a little bit, and perhaps maybe you can help me process through some of that, or give me some guidance, if that makes sense.
Where are you feeling this stuckness?
It is my lower spine, and I've been told that it's my psoas and my piriformis muscle, so my glutes.
So how are you in feeling supported and feeling open and flowing in life.
Interesting. I feel like I'm learning a new flow, and in some ways I feel very supported by some of the people in my life, and in some ways I wish I was more supported by people in my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
The psoas in general connects with all of the 3 lower chakras. Some of the energy in all of them influences this muscle. And it has to do with your flexibility within life circumstances. How adaptable are you? How able are you to keep your own form and flow in the changes and shifts around you? Because this muscle easily starts to contract when you feel uncomfortable with your environment or the changes happening around you. But when you find that you adapt and allow your body to take up space and to relax, you'll find that there's a softening and an ease that takes place. There's also some sensual connection with this muscle group, in that as you allow your body to experience positive sensory stimulus, the relaxation also follows in general.
Oh, that's fascinating. That makes so much sense, because what's very interesting is I've noticed lately when I smudge my lower chakras, I have started to cry. And so I'm happy that it feels like it's a release of some kind of emotional energy. But it's very interesting that it's sadness it's crying that comes out when I'm in those lower chakras. So this is very fascinating. And any insights for me about that possible response that I'm having?
You'll find a lot of this sadness are needs that have been unmet.
Okay.
And needs that you've shoved down and denied yourself because no one was able to meet. So now you're at a place of maturity in owning that these needs are there, and that just because people couldn't meet them in the past doesn't mean that no one out there can.
Yes. Thank you so much. That really resonates with me very, very closely.
Oh, and thanks as well.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Actually, I have one more question,
Yes.
and then I'll read the questions in the chat.
All right, yes.
I did one more question. Lately, I do have a bowl of coca leaves from Peru.
Yes.
And lately they've been they've been coming out of the bowl, and I'll find them on my shelf. And I'm curious if there's a message or if there's any calling with these coca leaves, if they're calling me. There's a message.
Someone's moving them around for you.
Yes.
Are you making offerings with these leaves?
I usually will make an offering to the leaves. It's kind of on an altar space for me, where I make my.
The leaves themselves want to be offered.
Okay.
So it's more about letting the leaves find the right place. Taking 3 leaves, or 4 if you like, with holding a different intention for each, and going to places in nature that are very special for you, and offering the leaves there, placing them underneath of a rock or within a tree or underneath of some plant, even directly in the earth, are all powerful ways of making spirit communication with these plants, as this is one traditional use that people have used this plant for, as a means to connect with the spirit realm with their words and thoughts.
Yes. Okay, because I have lately been using kava, sea salt, and tea leaves as offerings in nature. And perhaps I should also use the coca leaves.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But all of the offerings you have already are great as well. There's something about this plant that wants to be included in the mix.
Okay. Yes, I understand. It is very threaded in my wants and desires to connect with nature. So I understand what that means. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I thank you.
I love Pleiadian.
Oh, our unconditional love to you as well.
Okay, I will read some of the questions in the chat in
Yes.
the room. Okay, so it says, I bought the Moldavite necklace with balls from each different sellers from Alexi Press. Are these genuine? And how do I distinguish the genuine Moldavites? Would it help for me to meditate deeply if I put the Moldavite balls instead of the crystal balls already right below the upper vertex of my copper meditation pyramid?
You can tell if these are real or not by looking at the texture. True Moldavite has very, very fine texture that has very peculiar shapes. Study the texture of different Moldavites. You can see vast differences. For the fake Moldavite will not be as deeply textured. There might be some globules, but it won't be so textured that you can see images and details and irregularities in these textures. Yes, putting the Moldavite instead of quartz will have a different property. Moldavite's energy is activating of the heart and the upper chakras, and it connects you to multidimensional realities off planet. So it will bring in a more spacey energy, and it will create a sense of synchronicity and acceleration. For those who have blocked or distorted energies in their heart chakras, they will feel intense emotional bursts come when they first connect with Moldavite. And it supports in that transformation, though some people will find that if they are not ready for this process, it will be very uncomfortable for Moldavite to be in their field at all. So you have to be ready and willing to feel what's really on your heart, to work with this crystal and know that it's a process.
Okay, thank you. Another question from the same person. It says, my ARK crystal made by Nassim Haramein is firmly surrounded by some magnetic parts that connect to the pendant necklace. Is there an energetic prana interference when they are used inside the meditation pyramid?
No.
Okay. In the YouTube chat, the first question is it possible for humans and elementals to co-create a hybrid child together? If so, can you please speak about it?
Not in the sense that you might mean it. Elementals do not inhabit a physical realm, though they can make appearance in the physical realm by blending the dimensions in between physicality and the spaces they inhabit. Because you are physical and they are non-physical, you couldn't literally make a child, but you make metaphorical children in the sense that when you interact with these realms, you create changes in your consciousness and their consciousness that ripple through the realms. And in a sense, we see this as creative energy in motion that is birthing new consciousness. That's kind of like creating children, but not really. So in short, the answer is no, but something like that can happen at least.
Okay, thank you. The next question, is sunblock lotion mandatory to prevent facial wrinkles and blemishes as suggested by medical scientists?
How much time do you spend in the sun? Where do you live in the world? All of these things are factors. In the midday sun, at a very hot time, you will get burned within 20 minutes to an hour, depending on your skin tone. So don't do that. If you don't do that, you don't have to wear sunscreen.
Okay, thank you.
But pay attention to your body, really. Many of you don't have awareness of your body, and that's why you go through these silly processes like getting your skin burned. You'll feel uncomfortable while you're getting a sunburn, but most of you don't choose to pay attention to that. If you really listen to your body and you felt into your skin, you would know as you're getting a sunburn, and you wouldn't have to use all of these creams and blocks. And there are some of you who have very low melanin, and you will need to use some sort of sunscreen always if you do go out in the midday sun, but that's fewer of you than you think.
Thank you, Pleiadians.
Yes.
Next question, and forgive me if I don't pronounce this name correct, but is Haidakan Babaji an ascended master? What power does his Om Namaha Shiva mantra have, and what energy does it attract?
This is a being with a very high vibration. Is this being an ascended master? In some contexts, yes. The energy he offers is one of a consciousness of devotion, a deep focus on spiritual reality, and his energy brings through that high vibration. If you are called to work with this being or that mantra, you might enjoy it and use that energy as a way to also deepen in your own source connection.
Okay, and thank you. And another question from the same person. What high frequency sounds do I automatically hear during meditation?
These are inner sounds. There's a way in which your consciousness gives you these ringing noises in your ears when you attune to certain states of consciousness. It is different than what you know as the condition where the ears are constantly ringing, called tinnitus, though it sometimes can be a bit similar. There's some similarity. If you listen to this ringing in your ears and allow your focus to go there, you might find that you enter into different states of consciousness, and that your focus upon these sounds allows you to sort of go into transcendental states in which you experience different dimensions of reality, and your focus is no longer as much on the physical. So these sounds can be very useful in that process. But of course, in order to experience that, you need to focus upon them. This can also happen with inner visions as well. If you give your focus into the inner vision, they will carry you on the journey.
Thank you, Pleiadian. Another question in the chat, in the YouTube chat. There are electronic parts inside my Lemurian plugs. Do they really purify the toxic energies, even food around them? How
Are
can
all of these questions from the same person?
this is a different person. There's 3 questions within the same.
All right, continue then.
Okay, sorry. So the first of this one person, there are electric parts inside my Lemurian plugs. Do they really purify the toxic energies, even food around them?
No.
And-
They have some effect, but the effect of a crystal isn't necessarily powerful enough to remove toxins from food.
Thank you, Pleiadians. And one more question from a different person in the YouTube. Can you explain what is the prostate and how to keep it healthy?
The prostate is involved in male health. It is the place through which semen is produced and the male sex organs are regulated. These sorts of questions are honestly much easier for you to answer with things like Google, for example, because there's much information out there about basic functions of your body that you don't need to ask the extraterrestrial council about if you ask our opinion about this. So we'll just leave it there, but we would say that it does benefit from internal massage, very much. It is also a source of pleasure.
Thank you, Pleiadians. More question in the YouTube chat. I have another question about the ancient being Kintaro of Japan. Was there lost teachings about his life and pre-Edo period of Japan? From the
We're unable to answer this question.
Okay. Thank you, Pleiadians.
Our thanks to you as well.
May I have another question?
Please allow the space for everybody who might not have asked a question to ask another one.
I have a question, Palladians.
Yes.
I know I said before about the thing earlier, but as a photographer, how could I help more people in my state here in Connecticut?
What would you be very exciting about photographing?
Well, I like learning from others and stuff, you know, like their experiences and stuff.
So maybe you want to photograph other people expressing their passion.
Yeah, that'd be fun here in Connecticut.
As a means of getting to know the ways that many other people get to experience passion and document it and share that with the world. Perhaps that would be a good place to start.
Thank you. I feel it's been my life calling for many years now.
All right. Well, that's exciting. Because as you, in your world, come to understand the frequency of passion and document it and speak about it and show why it's so important in healing, more of you will choose that. That's a very vital part of how the world will change. So you could say that that is a very spiritual thing to do, to encourage other people to own their passion and to express it. And of course, art, photography, film, reporting, directing more of this energy towards the expression of passion and people living their passion would be very helpful for your planet. Instead, your news shows many things that don't really fill you with passion most of the time. All right, any other questions?
Dear Pleiadians, I have one last question.
All right.
Any insights or thoughts from you about the upcoming solstice tomorrow?
Oh, it is a very wondrous portal to be able to tap into the greatest heights of the light that your sun reaches in the northern hemisphere, if that's where you're at, to allow this to be a point where you open yourself to see things with the utmost clarity, because you will have the most light of the whole year shining to show you what is there. And in this light, you have the greatest power to overcome the shadows by, again, as we've said, owning them, by embracing them, by knowing that the light and the shadow always work in tandem. This is a time to set your hopes on your highest aspirations and get in touch with what you want in your heart more than anything else. Allow yourself to get in touch with that and also own your own power to be able to bring that into reality. The solstice, as it connects with the sun, brings you into that solar sense of power, as the sun relates so much to your own personal power and life force. So it is a good time to give thanks and honor your life force. Maybe get in touch with where your body is at in terms of how it is expressing its vital life force. Are there ways that you can bring yourself into more alignment with healthy, vital, and powerful life force energy? So it's also a very important time to evaluate your own self-care and how you manage your life force energy throughout your days.
Thank you for that beautiful message. Thank you so much for your
Oh,
insight.
thank you. Yes.
I would like to have one more question.
That is not permitted at this time.
Okay.
All right, let us conclude with a final meditation then. Closing our eyes, taking deep breaths in and out of your body. Bring all of your awareness into the present here and now moment. Observing your body, observing your heart, observing your mind. Inviting the light of your own soul to shine through your heart. Picturing a brilliant light that starts in the center of your chest and spreads out through the rest of your body. Picturing from your heart center great roots of light that grow down and out through your body, out through the base of your spine and out through your feet into the earth. Experience these roots of light wrapping around the crystals, minerals, and metals in the earth, weaving through the roots of the other plants and trees, connecting deep through the water and the magma beneath the earth's surface, to connect all the way down to the solid core of the planet. Feeling this deep and powerful energy rise up from the center of the earth and move through your body, and filling you with the deep earth energy. Feeling that rise up through your feet, through your legs, knees, hips, and up your torso and abdomen, chest, neck, head, and face. Your whole body vibrating with earth energy. See a thread of light from the top of your head that goes through your whole spine and way, way up into the center of this galaxy. See this thread of light connected through your moon, your sun, and many stars connected to your solar system in this galactic alliance. Follow this thread of light and see it expand into a vast tunnel, connecting all of these places and allowing a superhighway of light and information to flow. All of that energy from billions of light years away is present here and now and flows into your being, coming in through your crown chakra as a waterfall of light, allowing the galactic energies to fill you. It's a downward current of energy that goes from the top of your head and through your body, grounding you and stabilizing you here and now. Using these energies to activate your psychic gifts, to explore the realm of consciousness. We invite you to visualize yourself in a brilliant forest at the opening of a vast cave. This cave represents your own inner underworld, your realm of unknowns to explore. You pick up a candle and you start to walk down and down into the cave. There's little light around you, but the light of your own candle. But it is very moist. You walk slowly, slowly. But eventually your candle goes out. And you find yourself in total darkness. So as you give yourself some time to adjust to this darkness, gradually you start to notice that you can see further in front of you than you realized. And you realize that you can use your body to reach out and grasp, and to get more of a sense of where you're going. Your other senses kick in more. And you allow yourself to go deeper and deeper into this cave. Maybe it's uncomfortable, but there is something to witness here. And all of a sudden you do hear some sounds from deeper in the cave that startle you. Though you are called to go even deeper and even deeper. Reaching a place where before you meet your shadow guides. It's still very dark. It's a presence that you cannot fully see, but you can feel around you. These guides of the earth are your allies in coming to face the unknown, the dark, and the hidden. It is your relation with this realm that allows you to be stable, that allows you to be rooted. Your guides give you vast energy of support. And you allow some of this dark energy from the earth to rise up from your earth star chakras, from your feet, into your root chakra and flowing through your body. You feel this deeper connection through your lower body, reminding you are of the earth and of the darkness, as much as you are made of light. And you thank these guides as they support you in making your way slowly back to the surface, now more aware of how a deeper presence allows you to take in more sensory information in the moment, to be able to see even when there isn't light, to be able to know what the next move is, even when you're unsure of where you'll end up. And these gifts will support you very much in being fully present, in being fully here, in being fully now, in being fully you, knowing that you are not just the light, you are everything. So we do thank you for allowing this transmission to take place at this moment of your time, and for co-creating with us and your sharing, for going with us on this journey, for embracing yourselves, and for doing what you can to expand your own passion by acting upon it and being in alignment with your own source energy. For as you do that, it is a gift to us, it is a gift to all of your world, and a gift to all that is. We extend finally our gratitude once more and remind you that we are always with you, as are all of your guides, in the ever-present here and now. Until next time, a fabulous rest of your day to all of you.
Thank you, Dante.
Yeah.
Dante.
Thank you, Dante.
everybody.
That was
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. Very welcome. How's everybody doing?
Good. Thank you.
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here today, everybody. Saw some new people. Who's Han? Han. Hello, Han. Yeah, I guess a last reminder. You can send donations to support these sessions. It's a really great help, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you. The links are in the Zoom chat, and also on my website, you can find the links on the contact/book a session page. The guidebook to living love on earth here that you see. Ooh, it's getting very hard to see with that background thing. If I hold it like this, it works.
Yeah, because of the screen.
Yeah, so there's my book, channeled book you can purchase, and I'm available if you want to dive deeper. One-on-one sessions too. I'm tired after this.
Dante, you're always welcome to my Zoom room if you ever want to come from Connecticut.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, of course.
How'd y'all enjoy this transmission? How do you enjoy it, Amanda?
I think it's so beautiful to be sitting near him, near this beautiful being when
Yeah.
aliens are coming through. It's quite a different experience. And I really appreciated all your questions, especially yours, Carol. It lined up really beautifully, as it often does, with my own concerns. Great, as always.
Same with you. Thank you.
Thank you all. It was really great to hear your questions, and just such a lovely, oh, it's just so lovely. It's such a lovely, really good.
You're so lucky to be in the same space together.
Yeah.
It's really different. I'm really happy.
Yeah.
I
will
love
say
the background.
there's more energy that comes through with the channeling in person, because it is sort of changing my energy field as well, and like somehow feels more real in person. And so if you ever get the chance to come out to events, I do events in various places around the world, usually with cacao and sound healing and channeling. But yeah, I mean, more of this should be happening in retreats someday. I mean, I'm not the best of an organizer, so some organization support is always helpful to create some events. But I will be in Oregon at an event called Plants Enchant this summer, and beyond that, I don't have any plans for a while. But yeah, hopefully more of you can experience channeling in person one day.
I was gonna say, are you coming to the East Coast? I'd love you to come to Connecticut someday.
Oh, I mean, I was just over there in Pennsylvania. I mean, in order for me to come to new places where I don't already have a network, I need a lot of groundwork support. Like I need people, place to stay, people to host the event, people who have a network big enough for people to come to the event. So those are all factors. But if anyone, is able to support with that groundwork, and for a new place I haven't yet been, then I am happy to come.
Cool. Because I don't know if you've heard of Bill Fisher, very powerful person here in Connecticut.
Who is that?
Bill Fisher. He's a former Yale professor.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Up in Bethany near New Haven.
Goals to have. We're working on it in the islands here for you. Thank you, Dante. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Okay. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah, thank you. Namaste.
Bye, Amanda.
Yeah.
Ciao.